Yeah, that would have been better. Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. By the way, quick update on Sports ESPN on social. Most likely to get one more after Tiger said one more yesterday. We put up Tiger, LeBron, Steph, or Aaron Rodgers. Steph is running away with it.
Wow.
Really?
Which doesn't make any sense to me, considering LeBron's team has been better this year. If you're gonna pick the basketball player,
it has to be about what happened last night, though.
Just because the Warriors beat the
recency
Lakers?
bias.
Yeah, recency
But Anthony
bias.
Davis didn't play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the Warriors hit 26 threes.
Yeah. Very, very odd. I'm shocked. So Steph, 45.4. Second place is LeBron with 24. Tiger, 15.8. Rodgers in last, 14.8. All right.
Yeah.
So
every single Jets fan voted for Aaron Rodgers.
So far for our poll.
And I don't know if they even believed it. They just want to will it.
They want to will it, and they want me to be wrong. That's what it is.
If you could, very quickly, if you could pick one of them to win again, forget likelihood.
Tiger, without a doubt.
LeBron.
Well, he's a Lakers fan.
LeBron.
I'd probably say Steph.
LeBron. I mean, LeBron getting the 5 championships. Ooh, LeBron getting the 5 championships.
Then like he's going all in next year.
But
He's
here's
like, all right, trade everyone. I need to get to 6.
If he wins a title in year, what is it, 21?
21.
Like think about that.
I don't want to.
I'm just
Because the argument that I don't want to have will then start to pop up every single day.
Oh, yeah.
What's the argument, Evan? Go ahead, say it out loud.
LeBron and Michael. All right. So
that's very Belichickian of you.
I'm just trying to do my job and worry about today. Greg McElroy, ESPN college football analyst, was on This Is Football podcast with our buddy Kevin Clark. He gave an interesting concern about Caleb Williams going number 1 overall to the Chicago Bears, the USC quarterback.
I look at all the players that have been drafted number 1, number 2, number 3, way up there near the top of the draft. And seldom are the guys that ultimately go on to become elite players. Every single one of them has a gigantic chip on their shoulder. Like they're mad at the world, or they create some type of false narrative about themselves that people don't believe in them. Caleb Williams has never had that. I mean, Caleb Williams, from the time he stepped on campus at Oklahoma to the time he stepped on campus at SC, he has never experienced adversity. Very little adversity as far as how he was received and how he was portrayed as the next best guy. Even when they went 7-6 this year, or 6-6 or whatever, 7-5, it wasn't because of Caleb. I mean, he did his part, and he did. And a lot of that is true. But I do wonder about, is there a sense of entitlement? Is there that chip on the shoulder that's going to keep him going 10, 12 years down the road, the way it does Mahomes, who's still pissed that he got drafted 10th, like still to this day is mad about that.
I think it's a very interesting comment that he made. And obviously, you know, we think back to the struggles that Peyton Manning dealt with in his life getting to the Hall of Fame. Anyway. No, but I think it is an interesting concern in general. But Caleb Williams.
No, it's not.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not a legitimate concern.
It's an interesting concern.
It's an interesting concern, but it's ridiculous. And are we having this conversation if we don't see Caleb Williams crying after the loss to Washington at USC senior night? Like when he's crying and his mom.
Why is that a bad thing?
No, but that's what I don't understand. Like, are we having this conversation if that moment doesn't happen? Does Greg McElroy go on a podcast, put it on wax, that's a concern of his if he doesn't see that? Probably not. And I don't get why we're so critical of these athletes emoting after what they perceive to be big moments in their careers. The guy cares. He was emotional after a back-and-forth game where he came up short. I don't understand it. I think it's utterly ridiculous. And then the whole thing about, how much adversity has this guy seen? He was always viewed as the best quarterback. Well, listen, Eli Manning was always seen as the best quarterback, number 1 overall pick. Peyton Manning was always seen as the best quarterback, number 1 overall pick. Andrew Luck, number 1 overall pick, always seen as the best quarterback. Matt Stafford from Georgia, always seen as the best quarterback, number 1 overall pick. How about Trevor Lawrence? Won a national championship his freshman year, number 1 overall pick.
Chosen one.
Those are like that. That's what I'm saying. It's utterly ridiculous, this concern that Greg McElroy is floating out there. How is he going to respond to adversity? I don't know. He's always been viewed as the best quarterback. He's never been doubted. Stop yourself, man. Stop yourself. Listen, these guys are who they are for a reason. They have a ton of confidence, and I say this all the time about quarterbacking. It's about the 6 inches between your ears. And Caleb Williams has given me no reason to doubt his mental toughness or his ability to be able to adjust to the pro game.
But we are at that point with Caleb Williams where we don't really have questions about his actual game. We don't have questions about him physically or really from a football standpoint. So you start thinking about the environment that he would go into. This is how we have to kind of handicap whether or not we think he's going to be able to have success at the next level. What potential obstacles could come his way, and how is he going to adjust to that or respond to that? And I get what Greg McElroy is saying in a sense, because the examples that he's giving of Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady is certainly a famous example of this, Aaron Rodgers. A lot of these guys really do have to have that chip on their shoulder. They have to think that people are doubting them. And we have never done that with Caleb Williams. For years now, we've talked about him as the best quarterback in football. The fact that he's going to be the #1 overall pick. We point to him as someone that's going to transform a franchise. And I get where Greg McElroy is coming from, thinking, does that in any way lessen that chip or your desire to win? Now, Caleb Williams has never given us any indication of that, but I do wonder how he's going to respond if he doesn't have immediate success or his skills don't translate immediately in the league.
He did respond on Twitter, and let's read what he had to say here at Caleb CSW. He said, "Let's go back to school again because I'm bored. Adversity," gives a definition, "a state or instance of serious or continued difficulty or misfortune. Year 1, didn't start freshman year. Year 2, popped hammy championship game first quarter, lost because of my hammy. Year 3, 7-5, my last year of college ball." I don't know if that's the exact adversity necessarily that McElroy is talking about. I'm not sure about that. I think there's examples both ways. I think there's great examples, as you just mentioned, Smalls, of quarterbacks in college that faced a level of adversity that may have helped them in years to come. Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, as you just mentioned, CC, would not be examples of that.
No,
and
their daddy played in the league.
Expensive? What did I just say? Extremely successful.
Yeah,
I mean, there's examples both ways of this. If that's your concern, okay, you're able to express it, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be good.
Here's the thing. If we want to talk about concerns that we have for Caleb Williams, that is not at the top of the list. That's not even on my list.
What is?
My biggest concern for Caleb Williams is, can he be disciplined enough? Can he play on schedule? Can he hit his back foot, get the ball out on time, or is he going to be overly reliant on second reaction plays, scrambling, getting outside of the pocket, things of that nature? That's what I want to see from Caleb Williams. Ryan Leaf outlined the concerns months ago when he said the biggest issue with Caleb Williams is 75% of what we've seen him do in college, he ain't going to be able to do in the league. Athletes are too big, too fast, too strong. Mm-hmm. So can he rely on his offensive line, manipulate the pocket, which he's shown the ability to do, but play on time? That's the biggest concern I have for Caleb Williams, and it's a legitimate concern, because if you're going to win, if you're going to be a successful quarterback in this league, you've got to be able to win from the well. You've got to be able to deliver from the pocket. And so that is enough of a concern for us to be talking about in the pre-draft process, not this nonsense about his mental toughness or what kind of adversity this kid has been through his life.
We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.